What's going on, everybody? It's Pat, and welcome back to yet another Drummer's Commentary, the series where I watch amazing drum performances and break them down a little bit for you. Now, be warned, this is not a regular react video. I'm not just going to watch this and make faces and just say something cool at the end. When I feel it's appropriate, I'm going to pause during the video and then try to break down the song a little bit. We're going to talk about the gear, the drummer, the music, the technique, try to figure out what's going on and try to vulgarize it a little bit for you people who maybe don't know much about drumming or music at all. So, not exactly a react video, not a drum lesson either, somewhere in between. I'm really excited for today's video because I haven't listened to these guys in ages. I used to listen to UNEARTH in the early 2000s in high school, but since then they've changed drummers several times. Nick Pierce has been with the band since I think 2012 or something like that, and he plays traditional, so traditional player in a metal band. We'll talk about that as we see it happen. It's going to be amazing. Can't wait to see this. Let's watch together, and then we'll talk about it. Yeah, it looks like my brother. Stick tricks already. Yeah. Nice. All right, I'm going to pause right here and point out the obvious before we move on, and that is the fact that this guy plays traditional. So what do I mean by that? If you don't know what traditional grip means, is that you play with your left hand, if you're right-handed, like this, okay? You don't hold your sticks like this, which is what we call match grip. There are different techniques in match grip. There's German, sort of hybrid, called American, and then there's French technique as well, which if you saw my Carter Beauford video a couple weeks back, Carter plays French grip like this, so his hands are vertical. But Nick plays traditional. Sometime in the, I want to say early 20th century, there was an evolution from military drums where guys would have their, you still see this today in parades and whatnot, and in bands, marching bands, you would see guys with snares around their neck. Nowadays, you see them more straight, but they all still play traditional. They would have these snares around their sort of neck and back, and the snare would angle. So the best way to play was like this. After the Civil War, where you have all these, old military snares and whatnot, people started using these and playing, there's New Orleans jazz, there's jazz, which eventually evolved into rock and all that stuff. And well, the traditional way of playing drums was like this. You started playing jazz with your right, and your snare was still angled the same way it was, because that's the way it always was. So you have some people who have sort of kept playing like this, the traditional way, and some people who have evolved to play what we call match grip. So that's what traditional grip is. Let's keep watching the video. I hope that was a proper explanation. If I made any historical mistakes or whatever, let me know in the comments, but that's the sort of where traditional grip comes from. Let's keep watching, and I'm sure I'll have plenty more to say. Powerful drummer, man. Amazing setup. I think that's a Tama Star classic. I love these drum mixes, man, because we get to hear the drums. Pulling stick tricks? Is that what's happening there? Nice. I don't want to stop, man. I just want to watch this. Okay, it stopped here. Awesome. Perfect. So, first of all, love his setup. I love Tama drums. I love Zildjian cymbals. And I love the fact that he's not using a fresh pair of cymbals every new set like most, he's probably sponsored by Zildjian, but like Actually, he is sponsored by Zildjian because this video was taken from the Zildjian channel. Thank you for making such content, by the way. But his cymbals are old. You see like that splash, you see that ride, that stuff has seen some shit. And I love that because first of all, cymbals with some age, I feel sound better. Second of all, it feels more accessible. I feel like when players are playing with cymbals they've had for a while and they're not, always cleaning their cymbals, and it kind of elevates the musician to kind of a rock star status, unachievable status. This guy's like, nah, man, I've had these fucking cymbals forever. They've been through everything. They're dirty. They sound awesome. Personally, I like that. Now, another thing, the whole reason why I wanted to show this video and the reason why I spent so much time talking about traditional grip is that normally you'll see you'll see jazz players. When I play jazz, I play traditional. You'll see a lot of fusion guys play traditional because fusion is kind of an offshoot of jazz. But seeing a guy in a metal band like this play traditional is really unusual. And with so much power, it's just awesome. Now, you'll notice that his snare, if you look at his snare, like probably around here, if you look at his snare, you see that it's angled down. And the reason why he has it like that is that, naturally your hand like this, if your snare wasn't angled, you'd always be either hitting the rim shot or you'd have this kind of positioning that looks like this, where you see guys like Dave Weckl. I don't think he angles his snare much, but you can see that his elbow is kind of going down like this, whereas, this guy has kind of a molar thing going on, hitting really hard like this, pulling off stick tricks, going on the tom. So he sort of needs to angle the snare drum to be more comfortable. I love playing traditional. I think it's awesome. And I think that this guy playing traditional is an amazing thing for drumming in particular. It creates a lot of discussion and whatnot. But I just don't know how he does it. Like, I can play traditional like this. I love developing my traditional technique. But the second I play rock or metal, man, I have to switch to match grip. There's just so much power in there for me. But I think it's amazing he's doing that. Let's keep watching because it's just amazing to watch, to be honest. That was a stick trick. We missed it. Cool hi-hat play. I love it. Amazing double bass, man. Super constant. Very technical guy. I love how those toms, look at those, how like straight those toms are. But you can see that he's sitting kind of high. He's kind of leaning over the drum itself. I find that really interesting. I tend to sometimes do that, but my toms are kind of too big. But sometimes I just want to see how it is to play your toms straight. And if you're a drummer, you should probably do that sometimes. Like, get out of your comfort zone and sort of reassemble your drums in different ways that you see in videos or whatever, so that maybe you'll find something that you really like. Look at that. I don't know if you noticed that, but he's basically hitting, so he's going cymbal and snare here, and then he's hitting the cymbal with his left hand, traditional again, and hitting the snare with his right hand, kind of doing this thing, with the stick tricks and all that. It's really kind of a show. He's being a showman by doing that. He's showing showmanship. Wow. Nice china. Wonder what that is. And a splash display there for Zildjian. Breakdown, there we go. There's something about having a china on your right. It's breaking down like a halftime. I wish we could see his feet, man, because that's really cool double bass. Oh, didn't see that left hand china right there. Is that it? Oh man, that was short and sweet. That was really short and sweet. That was amazing. And I'm stoked that he plays traditional. I think it gives traditional players a lot more exposure, and it might give drummers the idea to try something new. You know, if you've never played traditional, I highly recommend you start playing traditional just to have it in your back pocket, because it's useful to have different techniques. I'm left-handed, and I played left-handed for the first year or two that I played drums, but eventually switched. So now I'm right-handed, but I still play open-handed every once in a while just to keep it fresh, you know? And same thing with traditional. I play match grip most of the time, but every now and then I'll spend a day where I just practice playing traditional, because when I'm playing smoother stuff or jazz or whatever, it feels more appropriate to play traditional. All right, that's about it for this video. I want to thank you for suggesting it. This was a viewer suggestion. If you have one of those, leave it in the comments below. If you want to start a discussion about playing traditional or anything like that, do that too. If you enjoyed the video, don't be afraid to leave a like on your way out. And please go check out the Zildjian channel on YouTube. Go check out this video. I'll leave links in the description down below. Otherwise, I just want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.